My channel. Alright, so today's video is, why do I always clap? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I went ahead and I posted like a poll on Instagram, and I just took screenshots because obviously it's not on there anymore. This was a while back. First of all, let's talk about how cute this mug is. Like, got this in Mexico when I went, and so I said I would be spilling the tea, and it's not tea, and it's actually not even warm coffee because I don't like warm coffee. I made myself an iced caramel macchiato, so that's what I'm drinking inside this mug, which doesn't make sense, but who cares? But anyways, what I was saying was, and please excuse my face, like I didn't really do my makeup today because I wasn't gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna go to a football game now, but I wasn't gonna go anywhere, so I was like, why not? And I'm wearing this sweater because it might get chilly outside. But let me just tell you that right now I'm super hot, so I don't know. All right, but yeah, okay. So the poll, I think I screenshotted it. Is that a word? So the question said, in high school, what did I say I wanted to be? So like for the students, I mean, oh my goodness. All right, so for the people that knew me in high school, y'all probably had heard me say stuff like this. All right, so this is what I don't like about this. It only allows you like two polls, two answer choices. So obviously it shows the percentage for those, but it doesn't show the percentage for the other ones, but we'll get into it. But here are the answer choices. The answer choice number 1 was teacher. That was answer choice A. B, wife. C, none. And D, teen mom. All right. And so for a teacher, I had 63% of you choose that. I had 37% choose wife. And so it actually tells me who voted for teacher and who voted for wife, and I'm not gonna go over those results. Well, first of all, somebody was like, okay, so the font that I had chosen for that specific question, I can't even remember what font it was, but I just like chose it, didn't think about anything. I just said like A, not comma, A, parentheses, that little thingy like this. Yeah, A, parentheses, the answer, B, parentheses, the answer. And so for B, it kind of looks like a J. So somebody just questioned me like, you want to be a BJ wife? And I had to explain like, no, that's a parentheses, and we'll talk about it. That was the answer or not. And then somebody, okay, this was my favorite because you have to see what they wrote. Oh, well, let me read it and then I'll show you. Okay, it said, he put, no answers are correct. And then I was like, well, what's the correct answer? And so we're gonna go over the correct answer. So he was like, yes, well, you said none, which, yeah, shocking. He said, well, you said none, you truly wanted to be a cashier. And so I was just like, oh my God, dang, you know me too well. Ding, 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 ding. I had somebody else who also messaged me and they were like, oh, you wanted to be a nun. And it's just funny because if you ask me if I ever wanted to be a teacher, I think once I was in college and getting my associates, I decided to be a teacher. I don't think I was ever, I mean, I feel like my job's kind of, I mean, I worked at a daycare, I worked at the YMCA, I worked at this place that was like all about kids things. So yes, I did like kids, but I don't think I ever, you know how some kids, or some people I guess, are like, oh, I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was little, since I was young. You know, I used to play teacher. I don't think I did that. I would like have a desk when I was little. I would have a desk and I would have like a stapler, and I would like have a spinning chair, and like I'd pretend I'd be typing. And then as I grew older, like when I was in high school, I honestly did want to be a cashier. And I wanted to be a cashier like at Family Dollar because they had those like big cash registers that had like the buttons, and I would see all these girls like always working the cash register with the big buttons, and they always had like fancy nails, and like I don't know if it was the buttons or the fancy nails that I was attracted to, but I was like, I need to do what they're doing. So in high school, I wanted to be a cashier, not a cashier like Walmart, not a cashier at McDonald's. I wanted to be a cashier at the dollar store because that's where those cash registers were at, right? And so then it was either like I'm gonna be a cashier at Family Dollar, or I'm gonna go and like work at a bank, or I'm gonna work at those places where you file your income tax, because they all had like the rolling chairs and they all had like the stapler, right? But it was funny how a lot of you chose teacher, which kind of makes sense because majority of the people do want to be teachers. since they're little, and so that's why they become a teacher. But the second choice was, what did I say second choice? Oh, a wife. All right, and some of you picked that too, so I don't think nobody chose teen mom, which is funny. But I actually, growing up, I never wanted to get married, and that's probably why I'm not married right now, to be honest. But I never talked about getting married. I never talked about having a husband. I actually, if people would ask me, I'd be like, I don't want to do that. I didn't even want to have a boyfriend in high school. I never saw myself with kids. Like when I was little, like 4 or 5, even back then, like I would pretend and play with my mom, and I would take her my kids and have her like babysit them. So I was never really like a stay-at-home wife. Even when I was a little kid, I would like take my kids to her, and like she would watch them while I went out and like sold products or something, or sold, I don't know what I was selling, but I would have my mom watch them and I would go into work. And then if you like go back and like read some of my stories, like the other time I found this paper from elementary school, and like what I had wrote about it, I guess it was one of those like, where do you see yourself in 10 years or 20 years? And the paper said something about how I was gonna like, I'd be driving by then, and how I was gonna buy my own house, and how I wanted to go to like places like Hawaii, and I wanted to go to New York, and I wanted to go to Vegas. And it's funny because I've actually done all of those things already. Like pretty much everything that I had wrote about, I've done. But in the paper, it also talked about how I didn't want to get married. So I was just like, dang. Because right now, I feel like that is one of the most important things for me. Like I have everything else. I would love to like start a family, get married, start a family, have kids. Like I actually see myself doing that. And if you ask me now, I'm like, and they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to be a stay-at-home wife, you know? Like I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to like, you know, be just a mom that's like hangs out with her kids and like has them in sports and is doing all these crazy activities with them, like cooking meals. That's what I want to do, right? I want to be like a cute little housewife. But I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with like, you know how there's like those vision boards, and there's the, like whatever you want, that's what you get. And like I really wanted the stuff that I got, and that's what I got, but I never mentioned a husband. I also never forwarded a chain letter, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But it's all good. All right, but to answer the question, so yes, so in high school, I did catechism school. Well, I was like the teacher, not the teacher, I was like teacher assistant, because at the time I was still kind of young, so they didn't let me have my own class. But I did do that, and it was about God, and it was involving me a lot about God, and like I really wanted to learn more, and I still kind of do. I still sometimes go to like Bible study, or go to a different church, or I kind of like, I'm all over the place with that. I can be like really holy, and then like kind of crazy, and but like I've always wanted a tattoo. I still really want a tattoo, and I want to get a cross, you know, and I'm thinking I will eventually get it. I don't know when, but the only thing that's holding me back is like in my religion, and I don't know what religion you are, and you know, you can think completely different, but in our religion, it's kind of like frowned upon to get tattoos. And I know I have like a million piercings everywhere, but I feel like piercings you can take out and like it'll heal back, and like a tattoo you can't really take it off and you die, and that's weird. I mean, and I know you're gonna say, oh, you can get like a laser tattoo removal, but I feel like once you die, I mean, nobody knows when they're gonna die, first of all, and then once you die, I don't think that's gonna be in their mind, like, oh, let's first make sure she gets that tattoo removed, you know, like that's it. And honestly, if it really comes down to that, and like God only takes you to heaven, which is, I know, I shouldn't even be talking about this, but if it is based on that, like I don't want that to stop it, you know. But I don't know, I'm still thinking about it, and I still keep asking like priests around, and like everybody kind of gives me a mixed answer. And I know within that paragraph it talks about how you shouldn't cut your hair, how you shouldn't be wearing clothes that's made out of 2 different materials, and like obviously a lot of people do that, and I don't think God would be like, oh no, you can't come to heaven and you cut your hair, you know. And so I'm like, if it's in the same category, then maybe it's not as bad, so I might get that. But aside from that, when I was in high school, I did consider becoming a nun, like to to the point, because like at church they would always talk about like, you know, some of you are chosen to be nuns, some of you are chosen to be priests, some of you are chosen to do this, and some of you are chosen to be teachers, some of you are chosen to get married and have kids and have families. And so at that time I was kind of like, what if I was chosen to be a nun? So I actually went online and like looked up nun things, and I looked up like the requirements and like what you need to do. And so there's like a huge list, like once you're a nun you can't do this, you can do this, you have to do this, and this. And like, this is gonna sound crazy, but like I kind of just went through the list and I was like, I don't care about this, like it's okay if I don't do it, and cool. But then there was one part where it said like, I don't know if it said no makeup or minimal makeup, and definitely like you can't obviously be like curling your hair and like dyeing your hair. And in high school I went through a phase where I would dye my hair all the time, red, blonde, yellow, black, pink, like any color, right? So to me that was just like, what? Oh, and I also wear contacts all the time. So when I read that part I was just like, what? I can't do that. Like I was addicted to that because, okay, so this is something else. Deep inside I always wanted to be a cosmetologist. I know, I had all these crazy dreams. So I wanted to be a cosmetologist, but like my dad didn't really approve of that idea. So since I really like makeup and hair and stuff, I was like, I can't be a nun when I like all this stuff, you know? Like, so I didn't continue with that. I wouldn't say it was a dream, but I just didn't even think about continuing. Okay. No, really. Oh, why is he barking? Sorry, my dog's out here. Like, what? Well, I guess somebody's back there. I have a dog out here, and then I got a dog that got neutered, so he's over here laying down in bed. And I'm not supposed to feed him till 7, so I'm trying to watch the time. But I said drop your questions, and I'm gonna answer a few. And the thing is, like, every single time I do like drop your questions, I always get kind of the same questions, and I just never answer them just because I just don't like answering questions. But I was like, whatever, I'll just do a video about it, and then next time they ask me a question, I'll be like, why don't you look at the video? At least give me views, you know? But one of them said, so still wanting to take you out. And I already talked to that person, and he knows why I don't want to go out on a date right now. So I'm not sure why he keeps asking when I've explained it in a million languages. But that's that. Somebody else also asked me, how or what do you look for in a guy? And it's a guy I don't even know, first of all. So I was just like, well, I usually look for guys that I'm friends with, and I don't know you, so bye. No, that's not true, right? Because people meet online dating, which, by the way, okay, so there's a guy in Irving who just recently got arrested for online dating because he was assaulting girls. That's crazy. Anyways, I feel like I don't really look for anything in particular, but then again, I'm also not married, so that's probably a reason why. This is what one girl said about me and how I pick my guys, and I kind of was like, what? That makes a lot of sense. And so she said, you are too, I guess, naive, and you look for the good in every person, and if you see that they have a really good or nice quality, you think that person is good for you, but you can't go based off that, because although they might be good at doing something, like their inner feelings towards you counts a lot. And just because they're like, you know, helpful and they're amable with the rest of the people, and you know, super nice and sweet to other people, and like always smiling, that doesn't mean they're gonna treat you the same way. And you have to go beyond what you see, how he reacts with other people, because if he's making you feel bad and treating you bad, are you really gonna say, well, I'm gonna keep going back to him because he's actually really nice and sweet to the other people? And they were making a lot of sense. Or like, which is true, I feel like I do. I'm like, well, they're not gonna be perfect, so yeah, you are not good with this or this, but you're really good at this and this, so it sounds like a keeper. But no, they're not a keeper. Like in college, I really liked this guy, and I feel like I've kind of always been independent. Like in college, I still lived with my parents, but I had a job throughout college. I had a car, but this guy that I was talking to didn't have a job. He didn't have a car. He like had an apartment that his like parents would pay for. Whenever we would hang out, like I loved hanging out with him because he was really funny and he would always make me laugh. But some of the times, a majority of the times, like 85% of the times, I'd have to pay for my meal and for his meal because he didn't have money. And so I felt bad. Like I didn't want him to feel like you know, go up to the register and be like, oh, this is just mine, and then have him like just watch and not eat, or you know, him being embarrassed in front of everybody saying like, oh, I don't have money, can you let me borrow some? So I would just be like, oh, like here you go. And even though he made me happy and was like so funny and like pretty cute, and I was obsessed. Just kidding. But I thought he was really sweet. It's like I can't be with a guy that has nothing to offer towards me. And that makes me mad that I'm using those words, because some guy once was like, I don't have anything to offer. And I was like, I'm not trying to get married right now. So I was like, I don't know what that means, whatever. But yeah, first of all, they need to have a good heart. All right, if you're a jerk, I don't want to be with you. I don't care. Like that's the thing, I don't want to be with a guy, because a lot of people that I know go based off like how much money they make. Like, oh, he's a lawyer, oh, he's so and so, and like he doesn't have time to hang out with you or like to ever talk to you, or to, you know, I'm all about spending quality time. Like I don't care if we don't go to like a fancy place. Like if you come over and we watch a movie, or if we go to the park and walk, like as long as it's like good quality time, I'm okay with that. Like you don't have to spend a cent. I mean, is it nice when you spend a little bit of money? Yeah, but I'm not gonna date you and be like, well, you know, this guy I haven't like really seen in 6 months, but we're going to Paris next weekend, so you know, he's totally bae. No, like don't think that money is gonna buy me. Like you can come up to me and like, I've always said this too, like I've posted it, I know people know this about me, like I've always said, like if I ever get married and you're gonna come up to me and give me like a, I don't know, I don't even know about expensive stuff, but like so-and-so carat ring, and it's huge and it costs you $1 billion and million and trillion of dollars, but you're gonna be cheating on me and not spending quality time with me, and you know, talking to all these girls, like I don't care about your ring. Like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, but yeah, he's with those girls, but like I'm engaged, so look at this diamond. No, I don't care about that. Like if this guy is really nice and cool, and like he has to be kind of cute, you know, and you know, funny, and like a family oriented person, and you know, has a good head on his shoulders, has a good job, has a car. Like I don't want to be with somebody that's like, I don't have a car and I don't have a place to crash in, so I'll just stay with you and let me borrow your car. And no, I don't want that either. But if you have like a car that's not that nice, but you're working towards getting a nicer car, and like you're actually working, but not working to where you're working all the time that you don't see me either, I'm okay with that. You can come and propose to me and I'd be a cheap ring. I've always said like a Walmart ring, so like $888, but really, I mean, let's be serious, I really don't want a Walmart ring, because I mean, unless you buy me a Walmart ring every single day and I have a new one every single day, but that would eventually be kind of pricey. But like not a super expensive ring, a nice simple ring. Like if you're gonna be faithful and super nice to me, like I don't care. I don't care. They're like, oh my gosh, your diamond's so small, he must not love you. I'd be like, you know, actually you don't know what we have, but thanks for your input. You know, I'll just stop talking about that. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I look for in a guy. And if you ask me to go on a date with you and I'm like, no, it's kind of annoying when you keep pressuring me to go on a date with you, because I already said no, especially when you're not ready to be dating. Like right now, like the way I am right now, I'm like living it up. Hashtag blessed. No, I really am just hanging out with my friends and I'm enjoying it, and I've reconnected with some friends that I wasn't really talking to anymore, and I feel like I've lived more of my life these past few months than I have my whole entire life. And I feel really good about myself again, and you know, I'm at a really good age right now. And I know some people are probably like, you're too old, why are you still going out? But I feel like this is the time to do it. Like, you know, you are independent, you have a career, you're living on your own, you you know, you've been traveling, you can like, you know, stay at work and work late, or you can go out and party late. Like, you kind of can do both right now, and you're young enough to where you can still hang out with the young crowd, but you're also kind of old enough where you can like have deep conversations with older people. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying this phase in my life, and I don't need anybody to like bring me down right now or any distractions, and I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can. So it might sound a little bit selfish, but I'm not looking for anything right now aside from friends, and I'm okay with that. And I know I talk about how I want to get married and have kids, and I want to do all those things, and I want to hopefully have kid by the age of 30, and I know that's like tomorrow, kind of. But right now I'm not rushing into it, and it's not worth it for me to be like, okay, let me just go on all these dates every single weekend, every single day, because I'm trying to get married and have kids by 30, and like it needs to happen. No, because I just don't work that way. I can't go on several dates with different guys. I can't do that. And it's just too soon for me to be like, okay, this is the one, let's just get married and have kids. I can't. Like, this is the person you're gonna be with for the rest of your life, the person you're gonna like share everything with, the person who gets to keep your stuff if you die. I don't know. But anyways, this was kind of fun. I don't really want to talk about anything else because it is already 6:30 and I need to go to a game, like I said, and I need to make sure my dog's ready and this other dog's fed, and I gotta finish eating because I kind of didn't finish eating. And yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. It should be either here or there. Just kidding, I never put it up there. Just probably over here because this space is empty, so it'll be like my face right here, and then like my next video right here. And yeah, if you have any more questions, you want me to make another one of these videos, just go ahead and drop them below. If you think this video is lame, don't tell me that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I know I already said that a million times, but subscribe. Go ahead and watch some of my other videos, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.